What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And just want to welcome new subscribers we got recently. Seems like the Warframe video, TennoCon, is doing pretty good view-wise. And see that we got a couple people who want to stick around and join the conversation. And the best way you can join the conversation is joining our Discord. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. Links down below if you want to do that. Also in the comments, best way to talk to us. Our shows are pretty much geared around having a conversation with the community, so we welcome you guys to let us know what you're thinking about everything we're talking about, and let us know what you want us to talk about and what you want us to watch. We're open to most things. Also, we can be listened to on most podcast platforms. Those are all down in the description box below. I noticed that there's like 8 of them now, including Spotify, iTunes. So if you want to listen to us, you can do that. And if you're listening to us and you want to see what we look like and watch the videos we watch with us, come to YouTube and check out Tasty Loot Gaming. Make sure to like and subscribe too. It's very much appreciated. But with that, we have 3 bits of news, all kind of small ones, but I always say that, and then we talk forever about it. So let's jump into it. So recently, Deep Silver on Twitter has been being asked questions about the game Dead Island 2, a game I forgot existed or was being worked on. Allegedly supposed to come out in 2016, was announced in 2014, was delayed, originally being made by Jaeger. They split up. Them and Deep Silver because of creative differences, to the point where Jaeger sued them. It looked like that did not work out for them, though. But now Sumo Digital is working on the game. They made Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed and Little Big Planet 3. They are letting people know that the game is absolutely coming out. It's being worked on, and they even gave some details, which is what they say. Prior to its changes of developers, publisher Deep Silver shares some details about the game. It will feature melee combat and role-playing elements like the original Dead Island, but also never-before-seen handcrafted weapons. The game will be set in California with locations like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and Venice Beach in LA playing backdrop to the action. Deep Silver also said there will be a seamless multiplayer for up to 8 players where you can cooperate, compete, and simply coexist. The game will also feature a handful of dedicated classes that offer unique gameplay, including the action-focused Berserker and the Stealth Hunter. What do we think about the details that they've given us, that the game is still being worked on, still coming, that we know completely different developers working on it, and what do you think about what happened with the last one and the delay?
So I was gonna say my initial feelings about all this is actually a little bit of concern, because obviously delays are fine to an extent, because you want to make sure the game's polished and comes out and is a complete product, but when you have stuff, like delays and then creative differences and then a studio switch, it starts becoming a little worrying. So other than that, I try to remain a little optimistic, because it sounds like they have some good ideas to implement in the game. And really the only thing I'd personally like to see is the first game I thought was this really neat idea. And I enjoyed it a little bit when I was playing it co-op with people, but it also felt rough around the edges, and it was difficult for me to get into because of that. So I'm hoping they can kind of make it play a little better,
Streamline it.
Yeah, and then I love the idea of up to 8 people playing together. I think that's cool. I also like that it's kind of your own take on how you want to play. It seems like, which is really great. And then I honestly kind of expected classes. I thought they were in the first one. I could be wrong though. You just kind of play a generic person who can just picks up stuff in the first one.
I think so, but you had different. I thought there were 4 classes, but I think you just have a skill tree that you go through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought someone was better with melee weapons, someone was better with guns or something like that. So, but I don't know. Seems cool. The example games they gave, though, are also another kind of weird one for me. So this is a weird one all around, I think, but I want to be optimistic.
Yeah, like I said before, I forgot that this game was still being made. I thought they gave up on it for some reason. I don't know why. I just remember the controversy, and that's it. So it's really interesting to hear it's back and being talked about. I do share concern for it because I did like the original one. I liked even the wonkiness of it because the game had such an intricate combat system that I think even to this day, well, except for with Dying Light, there hasn't been a combat system that's been done the same with the same ability to do certain things in fighting things melee. So I did really like it. The thing that freaks me out about this, though, is it's not being made by the original guys, which I'm never really a big fan of. Sometimes people nail it, a lot of times they don't. That it was being worked on by Jaeger, and now these guys are working on it. Also kind of freaks me out because it almost sounds like they're remaking the game. And from the time and the delay here, it sounds like they are. So this sounds like it's going to be a completely different concept with some core themes from the original game. These guys made Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed in Little Big Planet 3. So I'm not seeing a long pedigree of development that would make me assume that they could make a game like this very well, although I am open and optimistic. I've seen people who've made completely weird games and later make something completely different and do it well. So they might be able to nail it. But yeah, that delay, just the type of games they make and stuff like that. For the most part, I'm just ready. I'd like to see gameplay. Until then, I can only be like, well, we'll see. But I'm not trying to poo-poo it. The idea is, though, they're talking about the setting, I think, is neat. I do like that it will feature melee and role-playing elements just because that's pretty much what I liked out of the first one, so it makes sense. Hopefully, like you were kind of saying, I can look past a little bit of the systems, and I'm sure this will be a lot more cleaned up, but hopefully they do put an effort into making the game more accessible to more people, less buggy. The first one was very buggy. The 8-player cooperative, though, is very interesting to me, the seamless multiplayer, because when they say simply coexist, it almost seems as though you're going to be able to go do missions on your own without other people, which would be kind of cool, because then you are essentially just opening up a server and letting people play together,
right?
Which I think would be a great way to, I mean, you could pretty much kind of do that in the first one, too. I don't think it was 8-player, I think it was 4-player, but I remember when I was playing with Josh and Eric, one of them just ran off and was doing their own thing while I was on mission doing my thing.
But could they do quests still?
I think so.
Oh.
They weren't participating with mine. They weren't getting anything from it because they also had to walk up to the same guy. Okay. That's how you also get rewards. You have to go up to that guy after you complete the mission. So everybody's doing it individually. So, gotcha. So I think it did have a similar system to that already, unless they couldn't do quests. I know they could just not participate in it though, which was interesting at the time because I remember everybody's kind of split off and did their own fucking thing. But overall, concept sounds awesome. I like the first one. I hope these guys can nail it. Delays always freak me out, though. And switching directors, developers, anything like that is always sketchy to me because you start kind of losing the original idea and passion that the thing started off of, the foundation it started off of, and it starts kind of getting muddy. Like you get these new guys and they're like, yeah, we can do that, we'll do something. They're not the guys who are like, dude, we got this fucking awesome idea,
right?
And I do think that matters a lot because you're not going to get a game like, and I'm not comparing the two, but like you're not getting a game like The Last of Us made by a secondary developer who's like taking on somebody else's core concept. That's a passion project, same as anything. So it's a little it's a little murky, but I really just want to see the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like we're pretty much on the same page with a couple, obviously minor differences.
Yeah,
yeah. Good luck.
Definitely, and hopefully we do get to hear and see some stuff on this soon because, like I said, this is completely fallen off my fucking radar.
Oh yeah,
completely, and I was really excited for it at first. So hopefully we can start building some hype for it. Anything else?
No.
Let us know in the comments what do you think about Dead Island 2. Are you excited for it? Did it fall off your radar? What do you think about the 8-player seamless co-op? Did you like the first one? Let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Dead Island and Dead Island 2. And did you play Dying Light? It's a really fucking good game. If you like Dead Island, play Dying Light because it's where those guys took that and they did such a good job. I'm confused on why Dead Island even exists after that. Anyway, next bit of news.
So Neil Druckmann of Naughty Dog was recently interviewed at BuzzFeed, and during the interview, he basically came out and said, well, so Ellie used to be an NPC, but she's the protagonist of this story, so the player is controlling Ellie. It is safe to say with the game that we made in the past that there will be some sort of NPC with you in this story, even though we did not show the NPC in this demo. So you're getting kind of a how do I say that? He's not directly saying there is an NPC, but he pretty much said there's going to be an NPC in it.
Yeah, he's giving you an idea.
Yeah, and then, of course, with that, you have fans speculating that and hoping that it would be, I believe it's Dina or Dinah, the girl from the trailer, or
the smoochy lady.
the smoochy lady. They also speculation on Jesse, which is Dina's ex,
and not any more smoochy guy.
Not so much, yeah. And though GameSpot seems to think it'd be weird, Joel is also could be the accompanying NPC. So
they think it'd be weird if he was the NPC.
Yes.
Not that it'd be weird if he is, or could be. Which, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because I feel like most people would assume that'd be the guy. So I thought it was really weird that they were just like, it'd be odd if he was. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the story. So what do you think, obviously, about all of this? So
I'm just already kind of jumping in. I think it's cool that he's pretty much confirming that it's going to have a similar system to the first Last of Us, obviously, in that you played Joel and Ellie was kind of your NPC that assisted you, and they did a really good job with that. Also, talking about this, I potentially could say spoilers to The Last of Us, so if you don't want that, I would skip to the next topic, because it would be really cool to see, given the way the last game ended, Joel having a presence in the game. Like, I wanted to see them together again, but at the same time, I kind of got to respect that this is going to be her story, and her story might involve him less and more like as like maybe a parental figure or whatever, but this might be like where she's going with it, and it would make sense to have what was the guy's name, Jesse? Jesse or Dina be your NPC partner, but I have a big theory. I don't think Dina is going to survive. I'm pretty sure she's going to die. So if it was one of those two, I think it'd probably be Jesse, and it'd be really an interesting dynamic, because if that's her ex or whatever the hell that everybody's speculating on, and she ends up dying, there's going to be a really interesting dynamic between you and that guy in this post-apocalyptic world where you got to throw shit like that to the side and fucking survive. And I think it'd really open up some interesting dynamic between those two characters, which I think would be really cool. The reason I think Dina's going to die, though, is because in the original teaser, it shows Ellie and she's playing the guitar, and Joel, I assume it's Joel, talks to her.
it's totally Joel.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if it wasn't.
Well, there's like a lot of just less talk about Joel now. So I'm like, is he even in the fucking game? Talking about you ready to go or whatever, and she's like, I'm going to kill all of them or whatever. So obviously she's got some kind of revenge on her mind for something. And from the last game, who would it be? And then in this, we see her kiss some chick that obviously she's into. And they're all having dances and stuff. It seems civilized for this world, and that can't last. I can't see that lasting in this game, because there's not going to be a story really to build off of that if they're all doing fine. So I think something's going to happen to where they're living, and people are going to get killed. And I think it's not going to be the clickers. I think it's going to be another group of people that do this. And it would make sense if Jesse survives this, and I hope Joel does. Obviously in that teaser, it would make sense that he does. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, I'm down for the idea. I'm talking a lot. That Joel hopefully is in it enough, but if he's character that you talk to every once in a while or run into, it'd be interesting. I would love to see him as a more present force in the game, though, just because I love that character a lot and I love their dynamic. But yeah, as a character, her growing into her own, it makes complete sense, especially with the whole theme of The Last of Us being the road, or any of these type of stories where somebody is essentially trying to raise somebody in a way in a post-apocalyptic world where they'll be able to survive if they're not around to help them anymore. So it makes sense that she'd be the one to kind of carry that torch forward. So Yeah, there's a lot to that. I'd like to see Joel, but Jesse makes more sense. I don't think Dina's going to survive. I'll be surprised if she does.
Hey, okay, so yeah, I agree with you with
I think about this a lot.
the Dina part. I think the Jesse part is also possible, but what if like maybe he's a huge reason because maybe out of jealousy or something, and we also gotta to take consideration too in the first teaser, like you said, Joel's there. There's a possibility that in multiple stages of this game, you're gonna play either with different companions or even different characters. Because in the second teaser, it showed the person being strung up and stuff too, and it had nothing to do with Joel.
Well,
and
the buff chick too, would be.
So
a lot of people are speculating on too.
Multiple main characters and multiple NPCs.
Well, and some people also are speculating that is a flashback.
Could be
because it seems earlier in the like Fireflies.
And that's a possibility too. I just there's not really a lot of information out there, so it can only be speculation. But I do also think that there needs to be a catalyst for her to be how she was in the first teaser, and I think them showing us softness essentially in the newest reveal kind of sets that up. So I agree with that part.
Well, even in the gameplay too, it looked like she had the same. What does the chick have on? It's like a bracelet or necklace, or something like that. But Ellie has that later in the gameplay. So, like I said, I don't think she's surviving. It's an interesting thing you say that he might be jealous though, because it is possible maybe he would be the reason why whatever happens to the place, he might open it up for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because in the trailer it didn't seem like that kind of guy. But Naughty Dog is a really, really talented company that can write characters who are not one-dimensional. So
yeah, and I'm not like putting my money on that. It was just a random thought.
I'm putting my money on Dina dying
because they have a discussion right in the beginning where he's trying to get her back. You know what I mean? With Ellie, and then all of a sudden, the whole room
and the smoochies
just to watch him. You have the smoochies. So
you three loved it.
But yeah, I mean. If anything, this interview has created some more speculation. So,
yeah, it's just I think it's just adding hype because I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, oh shit, what are they gonna do? And we're not gonna know until we see any further on it. I just really my biggest emphasis is I want Joel to matter in this story. I don't want him getting pushed to the side or being the old wise man you got to visit once or some shit.
I'd be really surprised if he wasn't like in the game for a significant part of it.
Sure. Well, the significant part, but like, oh God, what's his name? The dude that you run into and you go and find his partner who had hung himself.
Sure, and he's helping you fix the car and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe in that capacity, like a segment of the game having that, which this does seem like they're adding way more characters to this. So in that capacity, you might have an interaction with Joel, but I really, really hope he's in it for a significant portion because he really needs more gravity to who he is as a character, especially after the first game, but also just how impactful that ending point in the first game is. Just it feels like we need more from that. So, but who knows what they're gonna do? So
yeah. Also, like a little side note on Twitter, they've had pictures of both Troy Baker and Nolan North. Wait, maybe it's just Troy Baker. I can't remember. Anyways, and the girl, that's all right. The girl who plays Ellie, I forgot her name, but they're both in their mocap suits at Naughty Dog. So
yeah.
So he's obviously in the game for some capacity.
Well, yeah, he's definitely gonna be in the game.
Yeah.
This is the first trailer they showed, or teaser. Shit, I had something else I was gonna say and I completely forgot. Yeah, the big thing is I'm just kind of worried about Joel as a character because what they did with Sam in Lost Legacy as opposed to Uncharted 4. Sam is Nathan Drake's brother, and his character, and these are two different groups of Naughty Dog that worked on these games, though. The guys who made that are going to work on Last of Us, so those are the top dogs, Naughty Dog. But the secondary team that worked on Lost Legacy, and as much as I loved that game, it's very fun. They did write Sam differently than in 4. In 4, he was more interesting and kind of like some schlubby like criminal type dude, but he also had like a certain charisma to him, charm, and like a seriousness to him that you knew that this guy can handle himself in situations. He's just made mistakes in the past. He's a less efficient Nathan Drake, in my opinion. But there's still elements there. But in Lost Legacy, they almost made him into a fucking clown. The whole time he's just like, whoa, shit, I tripped. Oh, I want to help you. And they're like, no, we don't need your help. He's like, oh, whoops. And that was like the whole thing. So I would hate to see them do something like that with Joel, kind of like play him off in a different way like they did with that. But like I said, those are two different companies that worked on this game.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Anything else?
No, we'll be here all night.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what do you think about Neil Druckmann talking about the potential of an NPC. Who do you think it's going to be? Is it someone that we haven't seen yet? That's definitely a possibility. Do you think it's going to be different NPCs? I think that'd be kind of a cool way to switch it up. It'd be cool segments, or have segments where you don't even have an NPC like in the original. So they're going to do a good job. But let us know everything you're thinking of when it comes to The Last of Us 2 and Companions. Last bit of news. There's a bunch of information here, so I'm just going to throw it out real quick. Rainbow Six Siege is in their third year now, I believe. Been around for a while, or going into their third year. I don't remember, but they have been working really hard to try and make the community better. And as a person who actively played the game and ran into a lot of issues myself, especially with team killing, that's almost like a fucking epidemic in that game. They've been working on certain systems to try and alleviate the toxicity of the community in the game, as much as I hate using that word. So they have a new system that's going to be rolling out that is going to enforce essentially punishing people for using slurs. The system will work like, where's it at? Players who use hate speech will be banned from all components of Siege for a period of around 30 minutes on their first offense. The second and third instance will carry 2-hour bans. According to Siege's official code of conduct, players who have 3 strikes against them could be banned permanently pending the result of an investigation by Ubisoft. This is an automated system, so on that third strike or past that, somebody will actually look into it. They said fighting against toxicity and cleaning up the Siege environment is a very real and important issue. And they also said that no system is perfect, but it is working as intended in a majority of the cases we've been seeing. This is not our final update for dealing with toxicity. We will continue to observe and make changes and expansions as needed. And then they go back and say back in April they outlined a stance on toxicity and how they're going to essentially combat it. What do you think about Siege and how they're handling it? What do you think about how people are in games and how you feel about being offensive and the future of trying to clean up communities by force?
So this is a tricky topic.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they make the game and run the servers, right?
And you agree but to their rules when
and
you play
you sign a user agreement so they can do whatever they want, and the result of that is you play or you don't play the game.
Yeah.
It's probably not the answer some people want to hear, but that is like the reality of the situation.
Well, especially with the people who are like, well, I paid $60 for that game.
Exactly.
So I should have access to it. And it's like, you agreed to a thing and you paid $60 for that.
What I think would be a good alternative is they can keep this on official servers by Ubisoft, but maybe rent out private servers as well. Mm-hmm. Because then people don't have to have that if they don't want it. They have that choice if they want to do that.
Yeah.
But I think overall, they're in the right in the regards of, like, I get it, like no one wants to play a game and be harassed and called a bunch of slurs and whatnot, but at the same time too, I mean, you go out in the street, you can experience the same thing essentially, you know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe you share a little bit and maybe I'll be able to form a better sentence here.
Okay, so first and foremost, when I first heard this, I instantly was worried because I don't like the idea of censorship. And I do believe I'm a free speech purist. I think at the absolute, people should be able to say whatever they want. Granted, this is their game, so they get to make the rules, and that's fine. But when I first heard that, I was like, fuck, are they really going to ban people for saying shit they don't want to be said? That seems really extreme. But then I read, the first offense, 30 minutes. I was like, that's fair. Do that. That's cool. Then like second offense, what was
2
it?
hours.
2 hours. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then on the third one, they're talking about permanently banning people, and I'm like,
After the third one.
after the third one, yeah, because the second
It's a 3
two,
strike
yeah,
and then
yeah.
investigation.
There's going to be people who think that's good. I don't like that, and the reason I don't like it is because there's a lot of things that can go wrong in the system. It can mishear certain people what they say. There's young kids who say really stupid shit, and not defending that, but I mean they're going to learn. There's better ways to teach them. I think it'd be a better system because I in a way, because I'm into technology, I think it's kind of neat that they can have a system monitor what people are saying, although it is a bit big brother to me. But I think a better system would be keeping track of people, and if it catches you saying something, it maybe puts it in a record, and then if they see a pattern of you like griefing people and like being offensive to people constantly, then they can send you a thing going, here's instances where you were saying this shit, we're putting you or we're banning you for like 30 minutes or whatever. And then if you show more signs of still being offensive after our communication, which I think is really important. Because even Twitter will be like, if you because I get in the fucking Twitter arguments all the time, and every once in a while it gets a little heated, and they'll be like, we want people to be able to say what they want, and we don't want anybody feeling like they can't say stuff. So just letting you know, and you're like, okay. And if you keep going, I mean, like Josh got banned for like 12 hours. I've been banned for like 12 hours before, and it lets you know. And it's like, okay, you said this. You can either contest it or delete the tweet. Once you do that, 12 hours, we'll let you back in. I think that's fair because it gives you a bunch of warnings beforehand. And it explains and lets you understand what's going on. I think they need to do something similar to that. Just banning you for 30 minutes or whatever is a fair punishment, but I think you really should work to that. I think there needs to be communication. I don't really like the idea of automated systems. In the future, I'm sure it'll be great. But as of right now, I mean, look at YouTube. When we're on YouTube right now, but there's so many things wrong with YouTube right now that people are constantly complaining about, and it's because it's on an automated algorithm. Same thing with this. I see it could be easily exploited or not work properly. Even though they say it is working great, they wouldn't tell you if it was working badly. They're a company. So I think it's the right direction in enforcing something, because at the end of the day, yeah, everybody wants to play the game, have fun or whatever. I come from fucking the old school though, where like everybody's fucked my mom, and people are calling you gay and all this stupid shit, and like most people, it just rolls off their back where it's whatever. But I do get that it's offensive to people, and that sucks. But I don't think it really helps people too much if they are whether it's the people who are being sheltered and then they go out into real life and they hear shit, they're not gonna, like, to a certain extent, I mean, it sucks, but you just gotta kind of, you gotta, I don't know, it's hard to put it, because I'm not trying to tell people how they should take words or not, because it's not it's only from my perspective. But I don't like the idea of censorship. I hate it. I don't like the idea of anyone forcing things. And then also you force people who are saying this stuff, it's just going to leave a negative impression on them. So I think it's just an overall kind of cloudy system that I think needs tweaking. Like I said, I think it'd be better if there's warnings at first before they do the first one, and even on the second one, warn a couple times before, like, hey, you've been doing this a lot. Because at that point, I can't argue against it. You gave them chances. You communicated that, hey, you're saying this stuff. You're saying this stuff. We have it on record. Or even check marks. Hey, you did this on this date. Hey, you did this on this date. Most likely, they're going to go, yeah, I know I did it multiple times, and they caught me. I need to stop. But just going like, banned, they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, and what if someone has like a speech impediment and says something and it picks that up and it's like, you're banned, fucker? It's just too...
And hopefully, obviously, with the investigation aspect of that, they're not just throwing out permanent bans left and right. Hopefully, it is actually more of a communication system that they got, with that. But really, honestly, only time's going to be able to tell to see how this works for them, how it's received by the general public, because we're just two dudes, obviously. And, and Ubisoft is a company that does listen to people. Yeah. We've seen it time and time again. So if it becomes too problematic and people start saying something, I guarantee they'll tweak it. So. Or take it away.
I just don't want to see them fall into the same shit that Overwatch has fallen into, because they've made all these different systems to try and fight against this, and all the time I read on Twitter, it just backfires on them constantly. So I think one of the best things you can do is just promote an awesome community, and a community that's just like stoked and like having fun is typically way more helpful. You play like in MMOs, for instance. Certain MMOs are known to have shit communities. Certain MMOs are known to have good communities. So let's like dissect that and find out what makes that. Like, I'd argue the Monster Hunter community for the most part is a really helpful and good community. There are some elitists, but is there like a slur problem in the Monster Hunter community? I wouldn't say so. I haven't seen it really.
I haven't seen it.
Warframe, I think, has a great community for the most part.
I have heard of issues in the chat before.
But Limbo?
No. Like of people being offensive in chat and stuff like that, sure. and the mods being really bad about doing anything about it. So, but it is not like rampant or anything. So, yeah. So time will tell, but I really think just promoting good community is a better way to do it. So it takes a little longer. It doesn't get the results as instant, but I think it also is just more organic, and I think makes for a better experience. Because, like I said, there's games I play where I can talk to almost anybody and they're going to be helpful. And then there's some games you play that there's a lot of assholes. And Rainbow Six does have a lot of assholes. I hate saying that because I love Siege, but I played like 3 matches in a row with completely different people, and each fucking time I got shot by someone on my team, like right in the beginning. There's actually a video on this channel of me killing 2 team killers who were trying to kill me at the same time. I killed both of them because fuck them. But because I don't deal with that shit. But people shouldn't have to deal with that shit. So it's overall, I think we're both on the same page that we get why they're doing it. We think everybody should all be able to have fun in games. Not so sure on the system itself. There could be implemented differently, but we'll see what happens. And Ubisoft hopefully is oh god, what's the fucking word? Involved and receptive.
Receptive, yeah. Hopefully they're paying attention. Hopefully they're willing to work with people to make this a good experience. Because if there's a lot of people throwing out stupid words or whatever, if you're just banning all of them, you're just kind of killing your community. So it'd be better if you could find a way to get them to just realize, hey, fucking, you should just have fun like everybody else and stop saying stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean, and like, I said in the beginning, and Seth reiterated as well, it's their product and service. Yeah. So... worst case scenario, and it backfires on them. I mean, they're really the ones who are going to feel it anyways. When all of a sudden this game they've been supporting for almost 3 or maybe 3 years at this point, I've lost track. Yeah. All of a sudden they aren't getting the same kind of support anymore. Their money talks. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you say like it's their game, whatever, it's like if you walk into any establishment owned by somebody, if you're being disruptive to whatever degree they find to be not welcome, I mean they can kick you out.
Fully within their right to tell you to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's just how it is. If you don't like the way that system works, stop playing it, and they will change it. Yep. So if enough people don't like it, so take it. You don't got anything else to say on that?
No, I feel like I'm just gonna reiterate a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, me too. I just don't like censorship, but people should not be dickheads to certain degrees. I am kind of an asshole, but I'm not saying fucking slurs. That's stupid. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about Rainbow Six's system to get rid of toxicity? What do you think about toxicity in gaming? What do you think about what are the best ways, in your opinion, to take care of this? Whether it's promoting better communities, enforcing it through algorithms, letting it go, and letting the community sort it out. Let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to toxicity in games and Rainbow Six's system. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. I want to throw out a reminder real quick, so I forgot to do it in the beginning, to play Heavy Rain and Absolver both offer free on PlayStation Plus. Play those, come back to the month for Plus Club. We'll talk about what we thought of them. Let us know what you thought of them. And our game of the month is Earth Defense Force 4.1. I've been playing quite a bit this last week. It's very fun. Highly suggest it. Play that, come back to the month for game of the month. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out my streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Hit the notification button to know when I go live. And check us out on Discord, link down below. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and other places. Links down below if you'd like to listen to that. And yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until next episode, which will be Friday for TastyCast. Have a good week, guys, and take it easy.